Hey guys, Everdudgeon 138 here. Just a little quick update. This video will probably be appearing on a GoFundMe page for my father. And a couple weeks ago, he was diagnosed with bile duct cancer, and unfortunately, it's inoperable. So he's been given anywhere between 3 to 8 months. And I really would like to see him do one last album. And I know he keeps trying to focus on it, but because both he and my mother aren't working right now, and unfortunately I haven't been able to find steady work since losing my job. Money is very, very tight, and the bills are piling up. And whatever money he has left is getting smaller and smaller because of vet bills, truck bills, just cost of living. And I don't want to see him, 3 to 8 months. I mean, it's such a vague timeline that we don't know really when things will start to really go downhill. So I would like to really see him focus on his music. Um, for those that don't know, my father is John Dudgeon, who is the vocalist of Steel River, which is a Canadian rock band from the 70s. And they were they played with some pretty big names. They played with Mountain and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Black Sabbath, James Gang. So they've seen some pretty cool acts and hung out with some pretty cool people. And my father also got on the radio after Steel River, in the '80s during his solo career. But he's always put other people's needs in front of his own. He's worked terrible, terrible, soul crushing jobs, just so to feed his family, to help other people out. And if somebody needed money, or if somebody needed a ride somewhere from work, he'd drive them all over the place. I mean, he would drive them on the other side of town just to drop them off safely and then come back home, even though he was bone tired. And he's always put his music to the side. He's compiled for the past, I don't know, 10 years, some really good songs that nobody's heard. And he keeps saying, well, one day I'll get it released, or one day I want to do this. And unfortunately now we've been given the timeline that it's now or never. And I'd like to see that happen. So this sucks. This is absolutely the worst thing that any child has to go through. And unfortunately, everybody has to go through it. Um, I am a little bit grateful it wasn't a sudden thing. That we're at least given a little bit of leeway that this man can accomplish his dreams. My father's really helped shape who I am. If it wasn't for him, I would have never sat at a piano or picked up a guitar, or he's the one that got me into horror movies and stuff. I mean, there's not many parents that'll show their kid Frankenstein or Godzilla at a young age, and it's got me hooked ever since. Uh, but I really want to see this album get made. Uh, just, I want to give back to him somehow, because he's given so many people, not just me, but so many people so much. He's gone out of his way for my cousins, my brother, my mom, his co-workers, neighbors, everybody. And I think now it would be a good time for everybody to return the favor. I love that guy very, very much. And I really want to see him go out with a dream, and go out satisfied and say, you know what, I got all these songs done, and I know he keeps saying that he will, but I think he's also worried about finances, and he's also worried about taking care of my mom and the dog and groceries and everything. And I really want to see him do this. And if I was working full time, I mean, that's where all my money would be going. But right now, I'm just a little bit powerless. But anyway, if anybody can donate what they can to help my dad out, I'd really appreciate it. And I really want to see him get this thing made. Thanks, guys.